Hey guys, it's Evan. It's late August 2024, and this is the first time I've been in here doing a big clean since I got my new floors in. I have cages back where they should be. It's not all crammed into one room like it was because I was laying floor in here. But today, we are going to be talking about gravid boas and kind of a head scratcher that I've got going on here. And basically, here's the deal. When you're breeding snakes or boa constrictors, you're trying to start pairing them in the fall, and hopefully you see some courtship from the male, and at some point along the way, hopefully you see true copulations from the male. And also the other thing that you're really waiting for, the marker in the sand, is you're waiting for that female to go into shed. And so you're in conjunction seeing that courtship activity between the animals, and then hopefully you're seeing some minor physical changes to your animal. At some point you might see a pretty significant ovulation. I'll tell you that I've marked what I thought were ovulations, and in retrospect they've been right, and in retrospect they've been wrong. I've never seen the football shaped ovulation, like, oh dang. But anyways, at some point you will get a shed, and generally you're going to mark that as your post-ovulation shed. It's very important to mark that down, and that's generally what people start to do the countdown. And so once you believe that your animal has ovulated and shed, from there it's a countdown. People say standard advice 120 days, although with true red tails I think it goes a chunk longer for a lot of people. And so hopefully you are seeing that go along, and you can project out from that post-ovulation shed date, and you will know when you are when you should have your babies. And that's what we did here with this girl. And I'll just tell you signs of gravidity in this girl. I will tell you that I saw the courtship, I saw the copulations, I saw some subtle physical changes, some subtle behavioral changes. I don't ever see the football shape, but I'm pretty sure I can recognize the ovulation in this particular female at this point because I've seen it go around. And she shed on, let's see, June 18th of this year. So she shed on June 18th of this year, and I'm like, sweet, that's the countdown, okay? And then from there, normally you wouldn't expect another shed. And another shed in there might mean that you don't have a gravid boa. I'll tell you, there's some other things. This boa just looks clearly gravid to me. I don't know if you can see, but she hasn't been fed in 3 or 4 weeks, and it wasn't a huge meal. But do you see how she's carrying this weight? It's not like there's a big meal in it. It's almost like it's sagging down low. So the top isn't where she's carrying the weight. It's more like that sagging softness. That's a key to gravidity. I see how she tucks her tail. That's a key to gravidity for me. She is just looking the way, I don't know if you can tell, but she's taken a lot of her fat and stores and reserves, and she's moving them to her neck. So this animal, to me, I believe is clearly gravid. Whether or not that means she's going to have successful babies or not, that is unsure. But she's clearly gravid to my eyes, and she had her post-ovulation shed on June 18th, and now I'm just in cruise control, watching, waiting for babies. But then, wait a second. This snake, and she's actually come out of it, but she's actually in shed again. What the heck is that? What the heck is going on? I know this boa is gravid. Yesterday she looked much more in blue, so I think she's going to shed in the next few days. But what the heck is going on here, guys? And this is where experience and research helps. And I'll tell you why. And the first reason is because if you've researched, I'm not talking scientific research, but I'm saying that if you've read The More Complete Boa Constrictor, they will mention that sometimes there's an intermediate shed with gravid boas. So that's something I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not wrong, or maybe I'm right. But then I go back and I look at this, and this is actually, I just wrote this down from my records. I keep good notes on all my animals. Okay, guys? When you're keeping a collection, not only are you building your physical collection, your cages and your animals, you're building your body of experience and your knowledge. And there's things that you won't be able to keep in your head if you don't write it down. But so I went back through and I looked at it, and kind of here's the information I was able to pull out looking out over several different successful litters. She's been proven twice already. So she had a first litter, second litter, and this is the third potential litter. I don't know. This is this year, so I don't know that she will have what will end up from that. But here's what we have. I just first, second, third litters, post-ovulation shed, intermediate shed, and when the babies came. So here, this first litter, these weren't successive years, by the way, so don't think that I'm bringing it back. But this first year, look, she had a post-ovulation shed on June 19th. She had an intermediate shed on September 25th, and she had babies on November 11th, all right? And here in this second litter, second successful litter, she shed on May 14th, So about 4 or 5 weeks earlier than in the season than the first time. She did not have an intermediate shed that time, and then she had babies October 9th. So just looking at the day ranges from there, on the first litter, June 19th to September 25th, that's 99 days. And then from September 25th to November 11th, it's 48 days. So in total, it took her 147 days from post-ovulation shed to babies on the first litter. Here on the second one, second litter, she shed on May 14th. There's no intermediate shed, and she had babies on October 9th. And that's a total of 149 days. So 147 days, 149 days. It seems like her term of gravidity is about 100 high 140s, right? So here, no intermediate shed, intermediate shed, but in some 147 days, 149 days, both of them had babies. She shed a little over a month earlier in the season than the first go around. For post-ovulation, she had them a little over a month earlier. So that's just tracking, right? So now here we go into our third round. And here, this is this year. And remember, I marked it on June 18th. And August 25th is today. She's not going to shed. I think she's probably like 3 days away. So today she's going to shed right around the end of August. But she's right in that 70 days between her post-ovulation shed and her secondary shed. And we don't have babies yet. So now this is where I'm wondering. But here's what I just did is I just did a little bit of math out on this. The average of 147, 149 is 148 days. 148 days is November 12th. So check this out. If on this first go around she had babies, she shed on June 19th and she was born November 11th. Here we're at June 18th. We add up the average number of days gravidity for her term. She's going to have those babies November 12th. So I don't know whether or not that's actually going to be what happens with this girl, but that's just kind of one of these things where this is the mystery. This is what I'm seeing. This girl is clearly gravid. Most people do not get a second shed in between their post-ovulation shed and birth. I believe I have before. I believe I'm getting it again. I believe that if the numbers all work out, that's kind of my target due date. So that's just something where as you're going along the process, you're never certain, but you're just reading the tea leaves, you're reading these clues, you're putting it all together with your body of evidence, and that's where I've come to. So I hope that's of interest to you guys. That's just kind of what's going on in my head as I run these animals and take care of them through the years. Take care. Bye-bye.